There are nights when the two people who once felt like home lie only a few feet apart, yet the distance between their hearts feels impossible to cross. If you're carrying the silence after an argument, the sting of words you wish you could take back, or the fear that peace in your marriage is slipping away, come into this deep night with me and let us pray, Divine. We come before you in the quiet hours when the world grows still, and the hidden things of our hearts become impossible to ignore. We bring you our marriages exactly as they are tonight, not as we wish they were, not as we pretend they are, but as they truly are. Sacred Presence, meet us here in this sacred hour. Meet the husband who is tired of trying to find the right words. Meet the wife who feels unheard after asking for the same thing again and again. Meet the couple who loves one another, but doesn't know how to stop hurting one another. Meet the two hearts that are still together, even though peace feels far away. Source, we ask you to enter the spaces between us that we don't know how to reach. Enter the silence at the dinner table. Enter the coldness that follows an argument. Enter the bedroom where one person turns away and the other lies awake wondering what tomorrow will bring. Tonight we don't come to you with perfect words. We come with open hands. We come with our disappointment. We come with our frustration. We come with the conversations that ended badly and the conversations that never happened at all. We come with every misunderstanding that has grown larger because neither person knew how to begin again. Great Light, we invite you into this marriage. We invite you into the places where resentment has quietly taken root. We invite you into the memories that still sting. We invite you into the wounds caused by careless words, broken promises, neglected needs, and moments when love felt overshadowed by exhaustion. Creator, we lay before you the weight of trying to be understood. We lay down the need to always be right. We lay down the desire to win every argument. We lay down the old evidence we keep collecting against one another, as if every mistake must remain on trial. Forever, we surrender the words we have rehearsed in our minds but never spoken with love. We surrender the anger that rises too quickly. We surrender the defensiveness that turns a simple question into a battle. We surrender the pride that says they should apologize first. We surrender the fear that if we become vulnerable, we will be hurt again. Higher power, we lay down the loneliness that can exist even inside a marriage. The loneliness of sharing a home but not a heart. The loneliness of sitting beside someone and feeling as though they don't really see us. We lay down the nights when we stare into the darkness, replaying an argument over and over. We lay down the questions that have no easy answers. Will we find our way back to one another? Can we learn to speak without wounding? Can we listen without preparing our defense? Can we forgive without pretending the hurt never happened? Can we love each other with tenderness when we are tired, disappointed, stressed, or afraid? Divine, we don't ask you to erase every difficulty from our lives. We ask for the grace to meet difficulty without losing one another in the process. We ask for peace, not a false peace that hides problems beneath silence, but a living peace that gives us courage to face what is difficult with honesty and love. Sacred Presence, soften our hearts. Where I have become hard, soften me. Where I have become impatient, slow me down. Where I have become defensive, teach me to listen. Where I have become careless with my words, make me gentle again. Source, remind us that the person standing across from us is not our enemy. Even when we disagree, let us remember that we are on the same side of something greater than the argument itself. Teach us to stop keeping score. Teach us to stop measuring who has sacrificed more, who has apologized more, who has given more, who has been hurt more. Great Light, free us from the exhausting arithmetic of resentment. Let us remember the reasons we chose one another. Let us remember the laughter that once filled our home. Let us remember the ordinary moments that became precious without our noticing, the shared meals, the late-night conversations, the errands made easier because we were together, the small kindnesses that quietly carried us through difficult seasons. Creator, bring tenderness back into our marriage, not a forced tenderness, not a performance, a real tenderness that grows from seeing one another clearly and choosing compassion. Anyway, help us see the person behind the behavior. Help us recognize the exhaustion behind the short answer. Help us notice the fear behind the anger. Helps us hear the longing beneath the complaint. Help us understand that sometimes what sounds like criticism is really a cry to be cared for. Sometimes what sounds like rejection is really a heart afraid of being forgotten. Sometimes what looks like indifference is simply someone who doesn't know how to express what they feel. Higher power, give us wisdom to look deeper. Give us patience to ask before assuming. Give us humility to say, I may not understand, but I want to. Give us courage to say, I was wrong. Give us grace to say, I'm sorry. Give us strength to say, I forgive you. And when forgiveness takes time, give us honesty without cruelty. Let forgiveness be sincere, never forced. Let healing in our relationship happen through truth, patience, accountability, and compassion. Divine, teach us how to disagree without destroying the safety between us. When voices rise, remind us to lower ours. When tempers flare, remind us that we don't have to answer every word with another word. When one of us needs a moment to gather ourselves, teach the other not to interpret that moment as abandonment. Teach us to return. Teach us to come back to the conversation with softer hearts. Teach us to choose connection over victory. Sacred presence. Bless the words we speak to one another. Let our homes become places where honesty is safe. Let questions be welcomed. Let concerns be heard. Let apologies be meaningful. Let affection be freely given. Let appreciation be spoken out loud instead of silently. Assumed. Let us never become so familiar with one another that we stop noticing the person we married. Source. Help us see each other again, not through the lens of yesterday's argument, not through the lens of past mistakes, not through the fears we carry from old wounds. Help us see each other with fresh eyes. Help us notice the effort that often goes unseen. Help us recognize the burdens the other person carries quietly. Help us honor the ways we each try, even when our efforts don't always look the same. Great light, bring peace into the practical pressures that enter our marriage. When bills create tension, keep fear from turning us against one another. When work leaves us exhausted, help us remember that exhaustion is not an excuse to stop being kind. When family responsibilities become overwhelming, help us share the weight instead of assigning blame. When parenting challenges test our patience, help us stand together with compassion. When outside voices interfere with our relationship, give us wisdom to protect the sacred bond we share. When life changes unexpectedly, help us face change as companions rather than opponents. Creator, protect the quiet places where love grows. Protect the simple conversation before sleep. Protect the hand reaching across the bed. Protect the smile exchanged in the kitchen. Protect the small acts of service that say, I see you. Protect the moments when one of us quietly asks, are you okay? And truly waits for the answer. Let our marriage not be built only on grand promises, but on the small decisions we make every day. The decision to listen, the decision to speak gently, the decision to be honest, the decision to show gratitude, the decision to remain curious about one another, the decision to repair what has been damaged instead of walking away from every difficulty. Divine, teach us that peace is sometimes found in the smallest choices, in choosing not to send the angry message, in choosing to pause before responding, in choosing to sit beside one another after a difficult conversation, in choosing to reach for a hand instead of turning away, in choosing to ask, how can I love you better today? Sacred presence, make us brave enough to ask that question and humble enough to hear the answer. Source, if there are words that need to be spoken, give us the right time and the right spirit. If there are tears that need to fall, let them fall without shame. If there are apologies that need to be offered, remove the pride that holds them back. If there are boundaries that need to be respected, give us wisdom to honor them. If there are patterns that need to change, Give us courage to face them honestly. If there are wounds that require more help than we can give each other alone, lead us toward the right support with humility and wisdom. Let us never confuse love with pretending. Let us never confuse peace with silence. Let us never use the word forgiveness as a reason to ignore what needs to be addressed. Great Light, teach us a peace that is strong enough for truth, a peace that doesn't run from difficult conversations, a peace that doesn't demand perfection, a peace that allows two imperfect people to keep learning how to love. Tonight, I ask you to quiet the inner arguments that continue long after the spoken argument is over. Quiet the imaginary conversations. Quiet the rehearsed defenses. Quiet the accusations we repeat to ourselves. Quiet the fear of tomorrow. Let this night become a place where we no longer have to solve everything at once. Creator, we release this marriage into your care. We release the future we cannot control. We release the outcome of conversations yet to come. We release the words we cannot take back. We release the mistakes we wish we could undo. We release the expectation that everything must be fixed tonight. Instead, give us enough peace for this moment, enough wisdom for the next step, enough humility for the next conversation, enough courage for the next act of love. Higher power, bless the person listening right now who is praying alone for their marriage. Maybe their spouse isn't praying with them. Maybe their spouse doesn't know they're listening. Maybe they are carrying a private ache that no one else sees. Hold that heart gently. Give them wisdom without bitterness. Give them strength without hardness. Give them hope without denial. Help them know what belongs to them and what they cannot control. Teach them to love with wisdom, to speak with dignity, and to care for their own heart while seeking peace in their relationship. Divine, bless the spouse who feels forgotten. Bless the spouse who feels misunderstood. Bless the one who feels exhausted from always trying to keep the peace. Bless the one who knows they have caused hurt and doesn't know how to make things right. Bless the one who is afraid to speak. Bless the one who is afraid to listen. Meet each of us with compassion and lead each of us toward greater truth. Sacred Presence, let our marriage become a place of refuge. Let home feel like somewhere we can exhale. Let the walls of our home hold more laughter than anger. Let our conversations carry more curiosity than accusation. Let our disagreements end with dignity. Let our love become more mature, more patient, more honest, and more deeply rooted with every season we walk through together. Source, teach us to celebrate one another again. Let us notice what is good. Let us speak appreciation before resentment has a chance to fill the empty spaces. Let us say, thank you for the things we have begun to take for granted. Thank you for the meal prepared. Thank you for the work completed. Thank you for the patience offered. Thank you for the sacrifice made quietly. Thank you for the ways we show up even when we are tired. Thank you for every ordinary act through which love continues to speak. Great Light, restore our ability to be gentle with one another. Let affection return where distance has grown. Let warmth return where coldness has settled. Let laughter return where heaviness has remained too long. Let trust be rebuilt wherever it has been weakened. And where trust has been deeply broken, give us the courage to face the truth and the patience to walk the path that truth requires. Creator, we trust that you are present in the work of reconciliation. We trust that our prayers are not wasted. We trust that every sincere attempt to listen matters. Every honest apology matters. Every moment of restraint matters. Every act of kindness matters. Every decision to begin again matters. Higher power, remind us that love is not only something we feel, love is something we practice. We practice it when we're tired. We practice it when we're disappointed. We practice it when the answer we want doesn't come quickly. We practice it when we choose patience over pride. We practice it when we make room for another person's humanity. Tonight, we are grateful for the possibility of beginning again. We are grateful that a difficult day does not have to define an entire marriage. We are grateful that one painful conversation does not have to become the final chapter. We are grateful for every morning that gives us another chance to speak differently, listen more deeply, and choose kindness again. Divine, thank you for hearing what we cannot say aloud. Thank you for knowing the tears that never reach our eyes. Thank you for understanding the fear beneath our anger and the longing beneath our silence. Thank you for meeting us in this deep night when there are no distractions left and the truth of our hearts is close to the surface. Sacred Presence, we trust this marriage into your care. We trust the words we need to speak. We trust the wisdom we need to receive. We trust the courage we need to change. We trust the patience we need to rebuild. We trust the love that is still worth protecting. Source, tonight we choose to release the need to control every outcome. We choose to release the belief that peace must come from winning. We choose to release the fear that every disagreement means the end. We choose to make room for grace. We choose to make room for truth. We choose to make room for understanding. And wherever it is possible, we choose one another again. Great Light, watch over this marriage through the night. Watch over the sleeping home. Watch over the hearts that are still tender. Watch over the words that have not yet been spoken. Let tomorrow come with a little more patience. Let tomorrow bring a little more courage. Let tomorrow offer one small opening where there has been a wall. And when morning arrives, may we not carry every burden from tonight into the new day. Creator, let us sleep knowing that we don't have to solve our entire lives before we close our eyes. Let us rest from the struggle. Let us release the argument. Let us set down the fear. Let us trust that the next right step will become clear when it is time to take it. Higher power, thank you for the gift of companionship. Thank you for the lessons that love teaches. Thank you for every opportunity to become kinder, wiser, and more patient. Thank you for the quiet strength that grows when two people decide that peace is worth pursuing. Thank you for the hope that can remain even after difficult seasons. Thank you for the grace to begin again. Divine, as this prayer comes to a close, let peace settle gently over every marriage represented here. Let peace settle over the couple who is laughing together tonight. Let peace settle over the couple who is struggling. Let peace settle over the couple who is waiting for a difficult conversation. Let peace settle over the heart that is praying alone. Let peace settle over every home where love is being tested by stress, misunderstanding, exhaustion, or change. Sacred Presence, let no one listening tonight feel unseen. Let every weary heart remember that it is possible to pause before reacting. It is possible to speak with tenderness. It is possible to listen again. It is possible to admit when we are wrong. It is possible to ask for help. It is possible to choose a different way forward. Source, hold our marriages in the quiet of this night. Where there is anger, bring wisdom. Where there is distance, bring understanding. Where there is fear, bring steadiness. Where there is pride, bring humility. Where there is loneliness, bring compassionate connection. Where there is love, teach us to treasure it. And where love feels buried beneath the weight of life, help us uncover it with patience, truth, and care. Great Light, may our homes become places where peace is not merely wished for but practiced. May our words become softer without becoming dishonest. May our hearts become more open without losing wisdom. May our differences become opportunities to understand rather than weapons to use. May our marriage become a living reminder that two imperfect people can continue growing, learning, forgiving, and choosing love. Tonight, we surrender the things we cannot carry. We surrender the words that still hurt. We surrender the fear of what tomorrow may bring. We surrender the need to have every answer before we rest, and we receive this moment, this quiet, this breath, this chance to begin again. Divine, bless the marriage, bless the love, bless the listening, bless the forgiveness, bless the difficult conversations and the gentle ones. Bless the nights when we feel close and the nights when we feel far apart. Teach us to keep returning to what matters most. Sacred Presence, let peace be the language we learn together. Let understanding be the bridge we cross together. Let humility open the doors that pride has closed. Let tenderness become stronger than resentment. Let our home become a place where both hearts can finally lay down their armor. And as we rest tonight, may we remember that we don't have to carry tomorrow's conversation tonight. We don't have to solve every wound before sleep. We don't have to know every step of the road. We only need the grace for this moment, the wisdom for the next step, and the courage to keep choosing what brings us closer to truth and peace. Source of all that is sacred, cover this marriage with a quiet peace that reaches deeper than words. May the final thought before sleep be gentler than the last. Thought before this prayer. May the heart that feels wounded find room to soften. May the heart that feels guilty find courage to make amends. May the heart that feels afraid find enough strength to speak honestly. May both hearts remember that peace begins with one willing step. Great light, let this night be the night we stop carrying the whole argument into tomorrow. Let this be the night we lay down the scorekeeping. Let this be the night we loosen our grip on resentment. Let this be the night we remember that love deserves our attention. And when the new day comes, may we rise not demanding perfection from one another, but ready to offer one another the grace we also hope to receive, divine. We thank you for this sacred pause. We thank you for the quiet. We thank you for the opportunity to place our marriages before you with honesty and trust. We leave this prayer not with every answer, but with a heart that is a little lighter, not because every problem has disappeared, but because we no longer carry it alone. Sacred presence, remain with us through this night. Remain in our homes, remain in our conversations, remain in the places where we are learning to love each other better. And when we forget, gently remind us. When we stumble, help us rise. When we hurt one another, lead us toward repair. When we become distant, show us the path back to one another. When peace feels far away, help us take the next faithful step toward it. Source, we place our marriages into your care. We place our words into your wisdom. We place our hearts into your peace. And tonight, before we close our eyes, we release the struggle we cannot finish and trust the love we are still learning to live. May every home represented in this prayer rest beneath a gentler sky. May every couple find the courage to speak without wounding, listen without defending, and love without keeping score. And may the peace we seek tonight begin with one quiet heart, one softened word, and one brave choice to come closer.